How to leave your day job in 21 days. I used to make £3,100 in my job, but since leaving, I now make £3,000 per day. And I use 3 simple keys that has allowed me to achieve this. But before you run off to your line manager handing in your notice, I've got some words of wisdom for you. Firstly, leaving your job isn't as cool as you may think. Yes, you get your time back, but there's one big problem. You no longer have that guaranteed paycheck at the end of every month. And most people simply can't handle the uncertainty of not knowing what they're going to be bringing home every single month. And not everyone is designed to be an entrepreneur. Secondly, most people have built their whole entire lives around their job. They live in a location because of their job. Their expenses are where they are because of the salary they receive. Anytime they get a salary increase, guess what? The expenses increase accordingly. And generally, their whole lifestyle, A to Z, is supported by one very fragile pillar. I remember at my previous job, the company finances got so bad that we didn't know if we were going to be paid at the end of the month. And if you've got bills, mortgages, credit card bills to pay, car loans to pay, you simply cannot take that sort of pressure or stress, and you start panicking immediately. Truth is, most people are seeking comfort. They want to be comfortable in all aspects of life. If you have big plans, goals, and visions for your life, your actions need to match. Otherwise, affirmations without implementation is the beginning of delusion. And unfortunately, we live in a world with some very deluded people. We all know some of those people personally, but I know you are not one of them because you're still watching this video. The big problem is people expect their life to change, their income to change, everything around them to change and be completely different. But there's one big problem. They don't want to change. They don't want to work on their routine. They don't work on their habits. They don't want to work on their knowledge, their skill set, their mindset. But somehow, miraculously, they expect everything around them to change. But it all starts from within. I've made over £3 million since leaving my day job, and I can tell you that I am a completely different person today than who I was back then. My habits are different. My thinking is different. How I choose to spend my time is ridiculously different. And most likely a year from now, it will also be different. Now, these 3 steps can help you leave your day job in as little as 21 days. Step number 1. Learn a skill that will allow you to get paid far more than you currently do. You see, there's a huge problem when you leave your day job. You no longer get paid for showing up. Most jobs, you simply need to clock in and clock out and be present, do a little bit of work, and you get paid. When you have your own business, when you become an entrepreneur, you no longer get paid for showing up. You get paid for solving people's problems. You get paid for bringing value into their lives, into their businesses. What I did was I learned skills in digital marketing. I learned how to build websites, drive traffic, paid ad campaigns, design graphics, and pretty much everything A to Z in the digital world. And these skills allowed me to charge anywhere from £100 to £200 per hour without going to college or universities. In fact, I learned all of these skills in a 3-day weekend seminar. So step number 1 is learn a skill that will allow you to charge a significantly higher fee than you currently earn. Because if everything got taken away from me right now, I know that I still have the skill set in order to gain everything back. That's one thing that they can't take away is your skill set. So step number 1 is work and learn and develop some new skills that will allow you to get paid far more than you currently do. The second key is do not leave your job until you have at least matched your salary. Yes, that may not be what you want to hear, but here's the reality. If you leave your job now and you haven't quite matched your salary or at least got somewhat close to it consistently, what will happen is every day that goes by and you are not seeing results, you are not making money, maybe you're not getting to the level that you want to get, desperation will kick in. You will become more and more desperate to make money. And then that's going to come across in your marketing, in your sales, in your content, and absolutely everything you are doing. Whereas if you've already built up that income whilst remaining in your day job, there's no pressure. You simply transition from one to the other. To take this a step further, I always recommend you have at least 3 months worth of savings behind you. In other words, if you did not make a penny for 3 months, you can still survive. You can still pay all your bills. You can still live the life that you want to live. Because again, desperation mode will kick in and it's not going to do you any favors. Whereas if you have a bit of a cushion behind you, you will find it so much easier and the transition will be so much smoother. And if you have family, children, and responsibilities, it's a whole nother ball game. You are going to be completely risk averse. You're going to want to make sure that everyone is taken care of before you make any kind of big decisions. So my advice is, if you have family, if you have children, if you have responsibilities, make sure that you have 6 months plus of a cushion, because that will give you the breathing space that you need in order to leave your job and start a successful business and transition into entrepreneurship. If you get the chance to read the first chapter of my book, you will see how much I struggled initially, and I don't want you to make that same mistake. The third step is to read Who Moved My Cheese by Dr. Spencer Johnson. It's an amazing book and story about 2 mice, and they're used to getting their cheese at a specific station until one day the cheese is gone and they go in search to find new cheese. And it's a little bit like us. All our lives, or majority of our lives, we're used to doing the same thing day in, day out, year in, year out. You probably make the same commute every day, sit at the same desk, do the same tasks every day. But what if that got taken away from you without your choice? How would you feel? Would you be upset? Would you feel that it's unfair? Or are you the type of person that will go in search of new income despite what's going on around you? Now, this book will really help you. It will take you just 30 minutes to read, but it will significantly rearrange the furniture in your mind and allow you to make the transition much more smoother. The reason you can leave your job in 21 days is because it takes 21 days to build a new habit. And remember, I am a completely different person today than who I was when I had my job. And chances are you will be too. And that means building up new habits, new skills, and it means spending your time differently. So if you can spend 21 days building up a new habit, and then another, and then another, and then another, stacking all those habits on top of each other will allow you to become a successful entrepreneur and start a business and maybe leave your job if that's what you want. And it is exactly through building those new habits that will give you the chance to be a better version of yourself, bring more value to the marketplace, and make more money. Another thing I want to add is the famous line of people buy things they can't afford with money they don't have to impress people they don't like. In other words, don't be the type of person that does it for external validation. Don't do it for the gram. Do it for yourself. So there's probably things in your life right now that you are paying for that you probably don't need to. And when you're making that transition from employment to entrepreneurship, you want to have your cost at a minimal level, because remember, there's no guaranteed paycheck. The truth is, if you're willing to live 1 or 2 years like most people aren't, you can have a lifetime of freedom. But the world we live in today, people want to be seen to be successful, seen to have it all figured out, rather than actually being successful. The choice is yours. So remember, number 1, learn a skill that will allow you to get paid significantly more than you currently do. Number 2, make sure you build up the side income to around the level you're earning now before you leave to make it a much more smooth transition, and so that you don't enter that desperation mode of having to make money. And number 3, read Who Moved My Cheese, because it will significantly help you change your mindset about looking for new income opportunities. There are plenty of opportunities all around us despite what's going on in the economy. You just need to be aware to see them. And look, if you want to know my story, how I went from working in a car park for 7 years to building my own 7-figure business, then you should get my book, Knowledge Worth Millions, How Everyday People Are Becoming E-Learning Millionaires. I'll drop a link below. It's completely free. You just pay for shipping and my team will ship it out to you. And it also comes with your very own 0 to 100K blueprint. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.